Hi there, good afternoon and welcome. You're watching the Mutual Fund Corner. Joining me from the Mutual Fund Corner is Sumaira Abidi. I'm Mangla Malu. Like every Tuesday and Thursday, we answer all your mutual fund related queries. But before that, we take a look at the markets. Well, it looks like someone just woke the bulls up from their afternoon slumber because all the frontline indices at the highs of the day. We have the Nifty, which is now reclaiming the highs of the day around that 11,650 mark. Today's low wasn't broken, so maybe we're in for a bit of a last hour rally. The Sensex has zoomed ahead, and as has the Nifty Bank, which has now crossed the 30,000 mark. So what are these stocks which are taking the Nifty Bank as well as the Nifty higher? HDFC Bank is off the lows. We have ICICI Bank as well, trading towards the higher end of today's trading range. So both of them account for about 50% of the weight on both the Nifty as well as the Nifty Bank. And a big move coming in on Kotak Mahindra Bank as well. Kotak Mahindra Bank is at the high point of the day. So the banks leading the Nifty Bank and also leading the Nifty higher. Apart from that, we have Maruti not doing too badly actually. Maruti has moved to the high point of the day as well. UPL has tried to recover from the lows of the morning at the high point of the day. And we have Bajaj Auto moving to the high point of the day as well. So sectoral gains across sectors and taking the Nifty higher, most of the contribution coming in from the Nifty Bank. Having said that, the mid-cap index too has reclaimed the 18,000 mark after going off or going below that today. And as we speak, that one too has recovered a fair bit from the lows. First up, all the top stories, and then we answer your mutual fund related queries. The market comes off the lows of the day. The frontline indices at the highs of the day, led by ICICI Bank and ITC, while Asian Paints and HDFC Bank drag the index. The mid-cap index, while it underperforms, has too recovered from the lows. Crude oil prices top $71 a barrel. Paint stocks take it on the chin. Asian Paints is the big drag. Added negative is the rating downgrade coming in by CLSA. The magic of merger with NBFCs fails to endure Lakshmi Vilas Bank and Dhanlaxmi Bank. It is yesterday's gains. Indiabulls Housing falls for the second day, extending its weekly cuts to about 9%. And as the season on fundraising for van, sources tell CNBC-TV18 that SBI is looking to raise 10 to 15,000 crore rupees via a QIP this week. Yes Bank also announces plans to raise money via debt and equity issue. Prime Minister Narendra Modi speaks exclusively to News 18 a day after the release of the BJP manifesto. Defending the demonetization move, PM Modi says the rise in formal economy, is a testament to the note bank success. With that, we have Sumaira, who will join us with a guest in the Mutual Fund Corner.
Mangalam, thanks very much for that. Feroze Azeez of Anand Rathi Financial Services joins in now to answer all the mutual fund queries that have been coming in. But Feroze, before we get talking about individual queries that have come in, yesterday we got the mutual fund inflows data for March. So let me just quickly take you through it. Equity plus ELSS, that's the headline category, that has grown to about 11,756 crore. And you can see the kind of jump actually that we've seen from, say, December, Jan, Feb, which were a bit of slow months. From there, we're back to those 12,000 crore odd monthly figures. Balanced fund, hybrid funds over here, the outflows continue, although this time around it looks like the outflows or redemptions have actually picked up pace. So we were seeing about 1,000 crores plus of redemptions for the last 2 months. This month, it's 3,000 crores plus. The rest of the data is pretty much in line with what was being expected. But SIP flows, look at that one. Now, this is a number that has been steady through and through all, in the last 1 year. This time around, we are seeing a marginal dip. Now, a lot of the experts have been saying that this bit of a blip that has come through is not something to worry about, although I would say that, I'm going to at least keenly watch out, Feroze, over the next few months if there is some pressure on SIPs. But, you speak to a lot of individual clients as well. Is this, is this fear warranted that there could be pressure on SIPs in the coming months?
See, I think as you spoke about all this data, it is very evident that logic is prevailing. Balanced funds are not a good investment because tax efficiency has gone away. Equity mutual funds should definitely be a part of one's portfolio, and people should not wait out till the election results are out. And that, I think, is very logical. Liquid funds in March are negative generally because of the liquidity tightening in the industry. SIP, when it comes to this marginal blip, I think we have lesser to worry because the markets have shown signs of recovery. Unfortunately or fortunately, unfortunately, the first time investors always invest through an SIP kind of a route. So what happens is if they see negative return on their investments, they get a little jittery and then start questioning their investment itself. So I think now that the markets have turned around, there are quite a few one-year SIPs and also two-year SIPs showing reasonable gains. I think now we have that fear a little behind us. If the trend of the market fall continued for the next 6 months, I'm sure the SIP numbers wouldn't have looked as healthy and the drops could have been substantially larger than they are, which is just about 40 odd crores of drop on a base of 8,000 crores is just about 0.5%.
Okay, with that, let's invite some callers in then. Nikhil Jain is on the line with us from Mumbai. Hi, Nikhil. Good afternoon to you. How can we help you?
Hi, thank you for selecting my questions. I have shared my portfolio and my goals with you. So I need your little advice. So I have allocated each fund against each of my goals. So I need to build a corpus of 20 lakhs in 16 years. For that, I'm investing in Kotak Standard Multi-Cap Fund. For 50 lakhs in 20 years, I'm investing in Mira Asset India Equity. And 1 crore in 26 years. For that, I have Azeez Mid-Cap Fund and 7 crores in 30 years. So for this, I have 3 funds. One is small L&T Mid-Cap, one is HDFC Small Cap, and one is L&T Emerging Business Fund. So I just want to know how these funds are looking to you, and I'm investing 5,000 in each of these funds. So total monthly I'm investing 30,000. So is this SIP amount is good enough to achieve my goals, or do you think any changes I need?
Okay, well, Nikhil, you're doing a lot of things right. One is that you have clearly marked out, goal with its duration as well as the quantum that you like to receive. As well, your portfolio is not overly diversified, so you have a very, very clean-looking portfolio. Feroze, in terms of the investment that he is making, is that enough? Does he need to step it up? And is it in the right funds?
I think the third thing also is got right. I think he has done his planning reasonably well. So if he continues these SIPs, the goals which Nikhil has mentioned are expected to be met in mediocre return situations as well. You don't need a windfall gain to achieve these returns. So point one is even with these kind of investments, you will be able to achieve all your goals. 2 funds which might require more vigilance, let me highlight. The fund selection has been reasonably good. So one is L&T Business Leaders Fund. Is one thing which you have to keep a watch on. Axis Mid-Cap Fund is one more fund which you will have to hold, but be more cautious about these 2 funds. Of course, the past performance of Axis Mid-Cap has been stupendous, but I think from a future perspective, the potential for the basket of shares it holds is lower relative to the other baskets. So keep a closer eye on these 2 funds. Otherwise, I think, Nikhil, you've done a wonderful job and an inspirational one for the rest of the viewers.
Okay, Nikhil, does that work for you? Anything more that you want to ask?
So just one more query. So recently I came to know that Mira Asset India Equity Fund has been moved from multi-cap category to large cap. So should I continue in that one, or do I need to put any multi-cap fund in my portfolio?
See, what happens is Mira Asset India Equity Fund, largely managed by Nilesh Surana, was always skewed towards the large cap. It had the flexibility to move towards mid and small in a certain proportion. But I think you should continue that fund. I don't think it will dampen. This decision of moving categories is going to dampen the fund or the strategy, because in effect they were doing largely the same thing. Of course, now coming into the large cap category, they will now be mandated to have 80% of their money in the top 100 stocks, which I think will not change the portfolio dramatically. So continue with that fund. I don't think you have much to worry about, because the fund management team is strong enough and they will take prudent decisions on the other segment as well.
Okay, Nikhil, thanks very much for calling in. Our next query comes in from Mr. Mohan Singhania, who's written to us from Gujarat. So he is 46 years old. He's currently investing about 8,000 rupees in 4 funds, which is the HDFC Mid-Cap Opportunities Fund, HDFC Focus 30, Aditya Birla Sun Life Dividend Yield Fund, Franklin Templeton India Smaller Companies Fund. Okay, I believe he's on the line with us. Hi, sir. Can you hear me?
Yeah, hi, good afternoon.
Hi, sorry, I've just read out your portfolio. How can we help you?
I made slight change in my portfolio. I have added SBI Magnum Multi-Cap and I have added ICICI Pru Blue Chip.
Okay.
And I have discontinued my Focus, HDFC Focus 30 Fund.
Okay.
So is my portfolio balanced, or some changes have to be made in that?
Okay, and the reason you're investing is for your son's education. So in how many years would you need the money, and how much?
Around after 10 years probably.
And how much do you need?
Investing around 1 crore rupees.
Okay, so 1 crore in 10 years. Okay.
I've been investing since 2011.
Okay, Feroze, yet again, it's, not an overly diversified portfolio. So he just has about, 4-5 funds over there. He's chosen the growth option in all. Is he on track, and any sort of changes required in the portfolio itself?
I think he's at the age of 46, Mr. Singhania. You should also have a strategic asset allocation desired. I think looking at the contemporary situation, 65-35 is a good asset allocation, point one. That could be a good starting point for you to decide what money goes into debt and equity. Point two, your fund selection requires some degree of improvement. You have moved into an SBI multi-cap fund, like you just said. The SBI multi-cap fund has a strategy of having several analysts together managing the portfolio, and I think that has done well. So you can definitely continue with the new investment which you've just started. But I think you should look at some other funds which can be changed from your current holding. One of them would be SBI Focused Equity. You already had a Focused Equity, you've changed that. Focused Equity is a very good category to be in, which has been carved out recently. I'm very bullish on that category because you have high conviction fund manager bets. So one of the best categories, I would say, little known, is the Focused category. In that, SBI, which is managed by R. Srinivasan, is the best fund in those 15-17 funds in that category. So that you can definitely start with. Invesco Mid and Small Cap is a good fund to start with. And you can also look at Invesco India Growth Fund. Let me correct myself, that these are the two funds which you can definitely add to your portfolio.